Welcome back to Identical Opposites. Today is Tuesday, February 9th, and Timothy, we fucking did it. Yesterday felt like a movie. It didn't feel real the entire time, especially when Gronk scored the first two touchdowns.
The way he celebrated going into the end zone on the first one, it was like I felt confident the Bucs were going to win. The little arms to the side, dancing, going into the corner.
Like, and then when they played out to the commercial, they had the "We Can't Get Stopped Now" song that they posted.
Yeah, I
making those
noticed
fucking smirks after they beat the Chiefs and they recreated after the Packers game.
Yeah, I remember I saw that shit. But I mean, the game went about like a little bit more of one-sided than I thought, but it went about what I thought it would be. I said it.
No, it didn't.
I said it. I said the defensive line.
We both said it.
We dominate.
We both said that. But when I said the Bucs would win by 10, you literally gave me a look. You fucking said I'm out of my mind. And then we went by 22, and you're like, I said exactly how it was going to go.
Did I not just say it went more one-sided than I anticipated?
It didn't go exactly the way you thought you would go.
I said not exactly, but I said similarly. It did. The pass rush of the Bucs dominated, even when they had 0 sacks and halfway through the third quarter, or whatever it was. They had 27 dropbacks from Mahomes at one point in the third, 17 hurries.
There was a point where I felt bad for Mahomes late in the game.
It was the fourth quarter where every time he dropped back, he was running for his life.
Remember, he got sandwiched? He didn't even get normal sandwich. He got Big Mac. There was 3 people that sandwiched him. 3 pieces of bread were on that bitch.
And when they called the roughing the passer in the fourth quarter on Sue and JPP, I think.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, that's where...
Big Mac.
That was kind of soft, that penalty. I mean...
Dude, he got crushed.
Yeah, but it happened.
2 guys hit him in the helmet.
When they hit him in the helmet? I thought it was a high-low, they said.
Someone hit him low.
Like
high and then 2 guys sandwiched him up top.
All right, whatever. But, that was happening all night. We didn't see all of them. He was getting crushed over and over and over again. It was like watching Mike Tyson fight fucking Peter McNeely. It was just seeing him get fucked up over and over again. And it was just like, stop the fight. I wish I could have stopped it. It was a TKO win in the third quarter.
You know, Patrick Mahomes ran for over 500 yards before throwing a ball, pre-throw, just moving around yesterday, over 500 yards.
Wait, what? Repeat that again?
You know how, they track how much he runs in...
Oh, how many yards he ran, while running around?
Yeah, trying to throw the ball.
500?
Over 500 yards.
Well, he had to drop back, 20, 30 yards, 5 times.
Dude, he dropped back 56 times. He only threw the ball 39 or 37 times.
He ran it,
That's
10
insane.
times by himself?
He only got sacked, 3 times? So that means he had to scramble 16 times. How many throwaways? How many throws off balance? Dude, he has the top 3 throws in Super Bowl history, and none of them were complete. They were all from yesterday, Patrick Mahomes.
When it was the second quarter and he was 1 of 9 for 10 yards or whatever, and he had no time to throw, and it was getting deflected when he did throw a third of the time, you just knew there was no coming back. You knew they just didn't have it that
Dude,
night.
we have to discuss what I'm talking about. Do you remember when he was literally horizontal to a foot off the ground?
Oh, and he threw it?
And it should have been caught. It hit Tyreek Hill
at the goal line?
Mask.
At the 2-yard line or some shit? Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was over at that point. Was their second to last drive or something?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think it was the second to last drive. But I remember that. I was like, Jesus, he threw that better than half the league. And he was almost on his knees.
There was one, he was almost out of bounds. He was throwing it, falling down. And it got into the corner of the end zone, and it literally almost got complete.
I know what you're talking about, that one too. I think it was the same drive almost.
Dude, he did that with the turf toe, which I'm still not sure what it is, but it looked like it hurt from when he was limping.
He didn't play bad yesterday. He just had no fucking help whatsoever from his offensive line.
He was running for his life, literally.
He had less than 2 seconds, probably on average.
If that game went to overtime, he might have died.
Yeah, he was 1 quarter away from medically not being able to play a football game ever again.
And then JPP is going to be staying over him. If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. But another guy who I thought played good was Shaq Barrett. I talked about how...
Good's an understatement.
I talked about after the NFC Championship game that he's going to get paid in the offseason for this playoff run. The Super Bowl, it's a like same thing with Leonard Fournette. They're both getting fucking monster deals.
We're gonna have to break the bank for everyone.
You're not gonna be able to keep all of them
unless Tom goes back to his New England ways and starts.
He's already not making that much. What is he making? Like $30 million a year?
Maybe Mike Evans takes
He'd be
a pay
making
cut.
40 if he wanted.
Who wants him more? We got to get Levante David back, Chris Godwin.
Levante David's a free agent?
Yeah, Super Bowl Lenny, because he tweeted he's no longer playoff Lenny. Super Bowl Lenny.
He did it twice, which makes me think he was drunk as fuck by the time the second one came out.
Oh, I'm sure they were all fucking blitz. I was watching Devin White's Instagram IG live, and he was just like, he wasn't saying anything, just looking at the camera, mean mugging, putting everyone else in the background. He was just walking around, getting different people at different times. And they would be trying to say something to say some hype to the camera, and Devin White just like mad as shit to the camera.
But speaking of the partying, did you see the Gronk was making sure everybody was partying? Like Antoine Whitfield was doing his interview after the game on NFL Live, and then Gronk was like, he's got to go turn up in the background. He's like, let's go turn up. He's got to turn up. And it was the funniest shit, bro. But you brought up Devin White. He's another guy. He was the defensive MVP. Like, even though you saw the sacks,
they all played great.
Even though you saw the sacks from Ndamukong Suh, he had 1.5, and Shaq Barrett was constantly in the backfield. Devin White made so many open field plays. He had so many plays where they would try to do stuff behind the line of scrimmage, and he would just zoom from the middle of the field to the sideline, make a tackle behind the line.
You know how somebody had a great performance is when they made one of their great plays on a meaningless play in the first quarter, and we and you both were talking about it the next day. When you were talking about the screen pass to Clyde, and he literally had blockers in front of him with open space to get probably 8 to 10 yards.
I watched the entire play, Devin White.
Devin White, yeah, me too. And he just zoomed around everyone and got in the backfield and tackled him for a loss of 2, but they spotted for a loss of 1. I remember that vividly, being pissed about the fucking spot.
I also get pissed about the minor details of calls. Like, dude, that was 3 yards on the line of scrimmage.
We're not going to talk about the refs, though, today. I thought it was a fair game.
But yeah, Devin White, he's on another level. But the refs, bro, the first half was all Bucks.
If you lose by 3 scores, you fucking can't complain about the refs.
No, you can't complain about you can complain about them, but you can't say there's a reason you lost. But the refs, bro, they were calling a little bit ticky-tacky, especially in the first half for the Bucks.
The only one I can think of is the one in the end zone right before half. That
was ticky-tacky as fuck.
But the one that was Mike Evans where he was running up the field where he got tripped?
I said that was a good call. And I said that it was going to go touchdown right before half, and you're like, they're going to go for a field goal, make it 17-6 before half. I was like, no, they're going for a touchdown this play. Dude, and then Tony Romo on that play, he was like, do you think it was overthrown? If Mike Evans didn't get tripped, that was in stride touchdown. It wasn't
even close.
Mike Evans is 6'5" and runs a 4.4 something. He was gonna get there. It was 5 feet in front of him.
Even the rules analyst on CBS was.
You can't count out Mike Evans.
He was trying not to totally disagree with Tony Romo, but he was trying to save his face. It's borderline, but you can hear in his voice. He's like, "What the fuck?" It's Mike Evans.
He was gonna get that shit, bro.
He's gonna catch it.
He's gonna catch it if you put it right there.
He's 6'5" with the dexterity of a cat.
I've been telling you, he's a
feline.
He's the biggest physical specimen of all the receivers in the NFL. With that size and height and speed and hands. He's got soft ass hands, bro. You see so many times they throw it over his shoulder, he just bread baskets every time. He's going to fucking Olive Garden every time. Gets those fucking breadsticks, bread baskets.
I was hoping Mike Evans and Chris Godwin would be the two that ate the most, getting the most targets and stuff yesterday.
3 catches.
Because they deserve it, but AB and Gronk, they got the majority of the share.
I was hoping Gronk would be the one to get the majority.
I wanted Gronk to get 1. I wanted him to get 1 tutty.
He got 2.
He doubled up on me.
The first one, it was all the dance moves and all that, but he was mad as fuck on that second one. Didn't he spike the second one?
I don't remember.
I think he spiked both, but semantics.
Then I was gonna the whole second and third quarter. I was saying out loud, I'm not gonna say it, but the Bucks seem like they're gonna win the game. But I didn't say it. I was like, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm not gonna say it. But then as soon as the first time I said it out loud, I was like, all right, it's looking like the Bucks got this for sure. Ryan Jensen snapped it over fucking Brady's head.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I can't believe I just did this.
When it was 21-6 halftime, I remember just like, they said it on TV, but I was already starting to think, they're like, this one feels different. Like, we've seen them come back, but it feels different. Because like it wasn't turnovers or self-inflicted. It just felt like the offensive line, they had no chance to like make a huge comeback through the air. And then like the Patriots were just, they looked on another level than the Chiefs yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you say the Patriots.
I mean, the Bucks. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's talking about, like, I was about to bring this up. Everybody's talking about how, like, the underdog won. Holy shit. Like, I never thought they were the underdog because they had Tom Brady. I felt like they're Patriots versus Chiefs to me. Because that's how much of a difference Tom Brady makes.
No, it was Bucks versus Chiefs, asshole.
No, well, it's talking down the Bucks, but it was bringing up Tom Brady.
Why can't we bring up Bucks and Tom Brady?
I mean, I think the Bucks are set up for the future.
That defense was all Bucks, and that's a big reason we won the game.
They have a lot of very talented guys in their early to mid-20s. Like, Mike Evans isn't that old. And then you have Antoine Whitfield. The secondary has improved a fuck ton since that first game. Like, in the first game also, they tried to go man-to-man a lot. But yesterday, you were just seeing a lot of zone, and then they would follow Tyreek Hill and have at least, two people on him, high and low, so he can't make the play underneath or burn you up top. And it worked perfectly until garbage time, but at that point, it didn't matter. I think Tyreek Hill had like 30 yards receiving going in the fourth quarter.
He got like I think he got like 50 of his yards on 2 catches, 2 garbage time.
In the fourth.
And one of them was like 3rd and 33 on their last drive, and he got 23.
Oh, yeah. Because it was 4th and 10 after that. But, I mean, for Kansas City, Kelsey still had a really good game. He was the only one that would get open consistently.
We can't cover tight ends all year long. I've been saying that.
Yeah, he had like 5 catches for like 60 yards before the fourth quarter, which I was saying before the fourth quarter because the game was over at that point, and there was a lot of garbage time yards. Like, Mahomes only had 100 yards passing going into the fourth quarter.
It was an ass whooping. It had like an 03, like a 2002, well, not to bring it back, but like it had like an old timey Super Bowl vibe.
It felt like a national championship game where it just looked like one team was clearly better.
There's been so many in Tampa that fucking it felt like a college football national championship.
Like, I just had CFP fucking national championship fucking vibes the entire time.
I know everyone's talking about the streaker, but doesn't that make the streaker one of the frontline workers?
Wait. Well, no, there's still some fans.
Oh, there wasn't all frontline workers?
Yeah.
Oh.
But speaking of the streakers, you see Kevin Harlan's call of that?
No.
It's the funniest fucking shit, bro. He's calling it like it's an actual game or something. He's like, makes a man miss a security guard at the 25-yard line, and he slides down at the 1, and he's like, oh. And he's like, I pulled down his pants a little bit, and you saw his ass. And he's like, pull up your pants, my man.
I think he was wearing like a onesie thong and he was trying to show it off.
Nah, he was wearing nothing but, well, yeah, he was wearing a thong. And yeah, he pulled it down. But yeah, Kevin Harlan, dude, he's the best. Ultimate professional. Kept the professional call going during the streaker. But speaking of announcers, you talk shit about Tony Romo a lot.
He had moments.
Like what? I mean, besides the uncatchable moment, which I agree with.
I don't know. Like, when he does that type of stuff, or he's like, he gets like that little, makes that little voice that he does. When
like,
he's
you're the only person that doesn't like Tony Romo.
I don't dislike him. I just think he's very overrated.
I think you're using his career against him.
The one thing I did think was funny was when Tyrann Mathieu and Tom Brady were going at it. Tom Brady was like, he's like, oh, it's all right. They're just, Tom Brady's saying, oh, in the offseason, me and Giselle would love to have you over for dinner one day. And I'll give him that. That was funny.
Before the Super Bowl, there was like a guy who was holding a sign, and I don't remember what it said, but he's like, Jim Nantz, was it Jim Nantz, right?
Yeah.
I always forget he's with Tony Romo.
It's a legend. Don't be disrespectful.
I know. But there was like, they showed a guy holding a sign, and I guess it's a guy notorious for holding signs. Like, his name was a guy with a sign, and then after this commercial break, you'll hear more from a guy with a mic, and he's talking about himself. And I started dying laughing, bro. Like, Jim Nantz is the shit, dude. Like, they have a list on Wikipedia of his best calls or quotes ever. If that's not in there, then I'm gonna be disappointed because that was like the hardest I've laughed listening to an NFL broadcast.
I thought the Super Bowls had a good, the commercials had a good rebound this year.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I don't remember any specifically. I remember the Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis Doritos one, Dorito Puffs.
Yeah, where I can't remember the artist's name. It was like Caught Me Fucking on the Sofa guy.
And the Matthew McConaughey one, where he was like a piece of cardboard.
That one was there.
I mean, I'm not saying it was good, but I don't remember. I think you like the commercials more. There wasn't any memorable ones. Like I don't.
Well, there was only some in the first quarter. That's about like when I wasn't too drunk yet, so I could still remember the commercials. I don't know if the alcohol was playing a factor, but there was a run right before the Matthew McConaughey one that had me laughing pretty hard.
See, I didn't watch them a lot.
The one in the
Beginning of the
Arctic
game.
with like I think it was like Captain Kirk, Dora the Explorer, Bill Cower, Snooki. When those kept reoccurring,
I didn't see that one.
there was like 5 different ones that kept coming through the night. Those were pretty funny. Bill Cower was asking, "Why do we have to listen to Talking Math?" He's like, "I got a talking clipboard, and it's just him and his clipboard over his face, just talking into it."
I remember also the Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani one.
Yeah, that
one
was
was
funny.
funny.
Are they still together?
No, they divorced like 5 years ago.
They got married?
Yeah, they're married.
I didn't know that.
But I don't know. They weren't that memorable, but they were like they were better than I remember the last couple years being. Like I remember like last year, the biggest commercial was Planters with Mr. Peanut dying. Do you remember that one?
No.
That's the only one I can remember from last year, but I know everybody hated it.
Oh, no, no, feel for the